Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World of Juice Hoops channel, and welcome back to the Los Angeles Lakers Flashback rebuild here on NBA 2K22. This is episode 35, season 35. Can you believe we are now entering 3.5 decades of simulation in 2K? I don't know how long we can go, but we're going to see. We're going to test the limits of how far we can go with this series. If we get ended, if we can't go any further, then that'll be the end of the series. But NBA 2K23 is coming out pretty soon. Content on the channel will probably start to change once 2K23 comes out. New series will come out, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But as we continue with NBA 2K22 in the final moments of its existence here on this channel, we got to keep going and trying to win more NBA championships. If you take a look at the league history, NBA history, we can take a look and we are back to back, baby. We finally got over the mountaintop that was the Dallas Mavericks a few episodes ago. Then we had to get through the mountaintop that was the Boston Celtics and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And we finally did that a couple episodes ago as well. That was the start of our new quote-unquote dynasty. And then we beat the Chicago Bulls in 5 games just this past episode with Kevin Garnett bringing home back-to-back finals MVPs. Now, we've talked about in previous episodes how Kevin Garnett is trying to become the greatest player of the series. Right now, that title is held by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I know it's a little risque to call somebody the greatest of all time while they're still playing, but Giannis has gotten to a realm that no one has ever gotten to before. He was a part, obvious. Oh, he left the Celtics. Where did Giannis go? I don't even know where Giannis went. So we can take a look at all players. Kevin Garnett's the highest rated player in the league. Ooh, Giannis has dropped. Where's Giannis at? He didn't retire, did he? Giannis did not retire. There he is. Okay, he's 87 overall. He's on the Magic now. I didn't see that coming at all. He played on the Magic last year? There's no way he played on the Magic last year. What? I don't remember that. Was he on that Celtics team? I could have sworn he was on that Celtics team. But no matter, this is the resume that you have to compare. This is what you compare to every other player that ever comes into the league now, from now on. We've had great players like Elgin Baylor has become one of the greater players. But we've had great players in the past, like Bob Boozer, Rick Barry. I mean, Kobe Bryant. Guys like that have been tremendous players in this series. But nobody has the resume that Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bill Russell has gotten Defensive Player of the Years like crazy, but nobody's gotten the resume that Giannis has. 8 MVPs, and he had 7 in a row. Then you got 8 championships. 8 championships. He was a part of our big 12-year dynasty. 10 All-Star appearances, 9 first-team All-NBAs, and it doesn't say on here because 2K is bad and doesn't show all of your award history, but he does have multiple Defensive Player of the Years, defensive first teams, defensive second teams. Like, he's got all of that as well. So this is the resume that you match up with anybody else in the league to see who's comparable to the greatest of all time. Now, speaking of greatest of all time, our debate is Kevin Garnett. He's 28 years old. So he's got about 9 years on Giannis. He's a 6-time champion already. He's a 4-time All-NBA first teamer. He's a 5-time All-NBA defensive teamer, first team. He's a 6-time All-Star. He's been a captain a few times. He's a 2-time MVP. So he's still got a ways to go, but he's in the discussion. He's definitely in the top 10. I'd say he's in the top 5, but I'd have to go back and look at everybody's stats throughout their entire career that's retired already, just to be sure, but I think I'd put him in the top 5, just off of what he's done so far. So enough gushing over future greatest of all time players. We've got to figure out who could be the next greatest of all time, and that is by figuring out what draft class we are going to be getting. Here it is, the wheel spin. You guys know it. You guys love it. We've got a lot of old draft classes on here, but we still got some modern ones on here. We still haven't gotten like the 2000 and who's a good example here? The 2000 and 17 class, that had Donovan Mitchell, I think. That was that class. And that wasn't Ben Simmons. He was 2016. Who was the number 1 pick in 2017? Was that 2017? That wasn't Karl Anthony Towns, was it? No, we already had Karl Anthony Towns. I don't remember who the 2017 first overall pick was. But we've also got like the 1992 class, which was Shaq. We've got 1998, which I think was Dirk and Vince Carter and those kind of guys. So, I mean, there's still some really, really talented Hall of Fame level players in the classes that we still even got like Jerry West. So we've still got some talent in these wheel spins. So let's go 3, 2, 1. What's the future of the NBA going to look like? What's the draft class? It's going to be an old one. We're not going to get Shaq, but we are going to get 1994. So we're going back into the time machine. 1994. Now, I am going to be honest with you. I do not remember who the number 1 pick or who even was a part of the 1994 class. Now, when I see it, I probably will remember, obviously. But as of right now, off the top of my dome, I cannot think of who would have been in the 1994 class. I don't even know who I would even think to guess. 1994 is so long ago. Is that maybe like Paul Pierce? Not because that doesn't make any sense. He's probably a little bit earlier than that. This one's got 500 update or 500 downloads. This one's got 675. So we'll go with this one. If this one's not as good, we'll go with the other one. Oh, Jason Kidd. So it's Glenn Robinson, Jason Kidd, Grant Hill, Eddie Jones, Jalen Rose. So it's Fab 5 era, because there's Juwan Howard, Aaron McKee. All right, this isn't a great one. There's Yinka Dare. He's a 7'2", 265 center, and he's got Zion's picture. That's pretty funny. But this class is not amazing. It's really not. It's not that great. You got Jason Kidd, who's one of the best pure passers in all of NBA history. You got Grant Hill, who some thought could have been the next Michael Jordan. And then Glenn Robinson, who's a great player, great Hall of Fame player. There's some good players in this class. Nothing to really like go crazy over. I mean, we've got a ton of draft picks. We've got 5 draft picks. Is that what it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 5 draft picks. I think we're going to be moving on from these draft picks because I don't think that we need to draft anybody. I mean, if we take a look at our roster right now, we've got D'Angelo Russell, who I would like to develop. He is only 4 years in the league. He's 23 years old, so we've still got an opportunity to see what he can do, and he's putting up great numbers. We've got Devin Booker, we've got Andrew Wiggins, we've got Kevin Garnett, obviously, and Joel Embiid, with Kristaps, Baron Davis, Magic Johnson, and we just drafted Zion last episode, so we've still got some very, very talented pieces to this team. So I don't think uprooting our team with a draft pick like a Jason Kidd or something like that would really matter in the grand scheme of things. So I think we will just move on and trade our picks for this season. Although I have talked about trading possibly Kristaps Porzingis or Baron Davis. So, I mean, maybe we bring in Jason Kidd to replace Baron Davis. Let Baron Davis go out and do his own thing. Let Kristaps go out and do his own thing. So, I mean, there's possibilities for trades that could end up with leaving us a hole that maybe we need to get a Jason Kidd on the team. He would be really the only one I would go for because point guard is such a up in the air position because Magic is now on the bench and he's probably going to get ready to retire pretty soon. If D'Angelo Russell continues to develop, then we won't need to have Jason Kidd, but who knows what could happen with him. So, I mean, point guard's really the only position that I could be concerned about. I could be convinced to change. But with all that being said, we've figured out the draft class. We've taken a trip down memory lane with the history of the series. It's time to go through the All-Star Draft. Hope you guys do go and enjoy the video. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Other channels are down below in the description. Want to go check them out as well. And I will see you guys at the All-Star Draft. We are here February 6th at the All-Star Draft, and as you can tell by the calendar, we have won a lot of games. 51-3 already clinched a play-in spot, so we could literally lose every single game the rest of the season and still be at least the 10 seed, whatever it is, in the play-in. That's how dominant we've been this year. I didn't even think that this team was like gonna be that great. I mean, I know we have some really high overall players, and we have a 99 overall Kevin Garnett, who's gonna probably win an MVP again, and we've got Joel Embiid. I know we have a really good team, but I didn't think we'd be this dominant. I mean, we've had some amazing teams in the past in this series, and we haven't won 51-3 at the All-Star break. Like, we've lost some games previously, but this team just seems to gel. And I mean, Zion's even at an 82 overall. He's having a decent season here. So I feel like we're going to be getting close to some trades, because I think we're getting a little too good. So that might mean Andrew Wiggins out the door. That might mean Joel Embiid out the door. That might mean these two guys out the door, Baron Davis and Kristaps, just to get some influx of new talent, just to see what happens there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the stats. Player stats for our team. D-Book, Devin Booker, 19.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He's killing the game right now, leading the team in scoring. Then you got Joel Embiid with 17. You got 11 rebounds, decent amount of assists. Then you got D'Angelo Russell. And it looks like Kevin Garnett's not really even being the dominant player that he could be, because he's letting these other guys get the scoring. Very interesting. Still averaging a double-double, which is nothing to sniff at. So is Joel Embiid. Kristaps is playing well. Andrew Wiggins playing well. Baron Davis off the bench playing well. He's been injured, so is D'Angelo Russell. So it is what it is. Then you got Zion. You got Magic, who is just kind of just hanging on by a thread. He's not really doing a ton. And then you got everybody else who hasn't really played much. Sean Marion's got a little bit of time, but nothing really crazy. So that's what our team is looking like. Season stats for around the league. Reggie Miller continues to kill the game. He won the MVP last year. I forced him to win the MVP because, I mean, he averaged 31 points per game, and he shot 41% from three, shot 46% from the field. He deserved the MVP. He had amazing numbers and a great season. He deserved it, so I gave it to him. And he leads the league again in scoring. There's Derrick Rose. He's always continuing to have a great career in terms of scoring. Bogdan Bogdanović, averaging 26 points per game in Houston, in third in scoring. Tickle me stupid. I didn't think that was going to happen. Corey Maggetti's right there. We could have had him on our team. Manu Ginobili, David Robinson. David Robinson's still only 23 years old. I forget that he just came in the league recently. That's great. I thought he's been in the league for a while. There's Kat. Then you got Nikola Jokic. You got Russell Westbrook, who's an old man at this point. Dr. J's an old man. We're going to start to see some of the staples of this series retire. Like Anthony Edwards is going to start to retire pretty soon. He may even retire at the end of this episode. Who knows? But we're going to start to see some of the greats retire. Even Derrick Rose is going to get up there in age pretty soon. Let's take a look at the All-Star draft. It's Team Manu and Team Russell. So even in his old age, Team Russell Westbrook gets an All-Star starter spot and a captaincy. We've got Kevin Garnett, Ben Simmons, Derrick Rose, Kat, then Anthony Edwards, Giannis, Artis Gilmore, Kevin Love, Yao Ming, Devin Booker, D'Angelo Russell. Then Manu Ginobili drafts Dr. J, Elgin Baylor, Wayne Embry, Hal Greer, Bill Russell, Fred Brown, Reggie Miller, Jason Thompson, Kenny Anderson, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 All-Stars. 1 starter, 3 off the bench, Embiid, Booker, and Russell. And then obviously Garnett is the starter. But we are just having that good of a season that we get 4 All-Stars. That's the most we've had in a long time. Maybe ever, I dare say. 4 All-Stars? I don't even know. But this team just seems to mesh. I don't know what it is about this team, but they just seem to be meshing. Only 3 losses. Will we end up with 3 losses on the season? I don't know. It'll be tough to say. We certainly can't break our own record. The highest we've gone is 80-2. That's the best record we've ever had in this series. We've never gone 81-1. We've never gone 82-0. We won't do that this year. But we could go 79-3. That's a possibility. I guess we'll find out. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. The season is wraps, and Manu Ginobili is your MVP of the league. And you know what? I respect Manu Ginobili so much. He had such a great career in real life. One of the greatest 6 men to ever step foot onto a court, that I will let him keep his MVP. Because I could have easily overrid this and gave it to Reggie Miller back to back. But you know what? I respect him so much. He put up 24, 5.5, and 11, basically. On decent splits, he deserves the MVP. Congratulations, Manu. Ja Morant is your Rookie of the Year. 22 points per game. Congratulations to him. Spencer Haywood wins the 6th Man of the Year on the Pacers. David Robinson takes home another Defensive Player of the Year. Elton Brand is the most improved player. What did he go up from? Okay, he was on our team. I forgot about that. And he went from 5.2 to 7.7 with 13 rebounds. I'd say that's pretty improved. I'd give him that. I don't hate that. Taylor Lee, 76 and 6. It looks like we fired our head coach, Lily Smith. Is that what I forget what her name was. I know her name was Lily, something like that. But we fired her. Her contract ran out. We didn't bring her back. We got Taylor Lee now on the team as the head coach. Good for him, I guess. Whatever. Here is All-NBA first teams. Manu Ginobili, Russell Westbrook. Good for Russell Westbrook. 31 years old, making the All-NBA first team. Elgin Baylor, Scotty, and David Robinson. Second team is Reggie Miller, Rose, Irving, Garnett, and Karl-Anthony Towns. So Garnett gets an All-NBA team. Third team, Mark Jackson, Hal Greer, Lamar Odom, Giannis, and Jokic. So at 37 years old, Giannis still making All-NBA teams. That's why he's the greatest. All-defensive team, Chalmers, Westbrook, Pippen, Garnett, Robinson. Second team is Greer, Mayo, Baylor, Irving, Yao Ming. All-rookie first team, here it is. All-rookie second team, here it is. And then we move on to the playoffs. But we got to take a look at the final stats on the season. How did everybody perform? Booker averaged a smooth 20 points with basically 4 rebounds, 5 assists, really good splits. Good for Devin Booker. D'Angelo Russell came in second on the team in scoring. Then you got Joel Embiid, you got Kevin Garnett, you got Kristaps, who had a really good season. Both of these guys averaged dubs. Then you got Kristaps, Andrew Wiggins, Baron Davis, who was hurt for a good majority of the second half of the season. Very interesting. He might have to get moved. I think he might get moved anyway. Jordan Clarkson came in and did pretty good. Maybe he could have won MVP, or not MVP. Maybe he could have won Most Improved Player. I guess he didn't average as much as Elton Brand. And Elton Brand did average a double-double. So Zion even bumped up his scoring. Then you got Magic out here doing his thing. 7.2 with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 assists basically. He's 36 years old, so what do you expect? You expect him to be a world beater? I don't think so. And then we can take a look quickly at the scoring titles, Reggie Miller. And then it's basically the same thing as it was when we looked at it last, although Corey Maggette dropped in points. And David Robinson, these guys moved up a little bit. But other than that, it's basically the same. So let's figure out who we're taking on in the first round of the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns. Now, we've had some history with these guys in the past. This is where we traded DeAndre Ayton, I think, right? Is that where we traded him? I can't remember. But they do have Jaylen Brown, who was on our team. And then when his rookie contract was up, he said, I'm not talking to you. I don't like you guys anymore. So he went to go sign with Phoenix. So there he is. And he made the playoffs. We've played him before. And no, I don't want to do Simcast. I want to get out of this game in 4 games, and maybe this is the year that we go undefeated in the playoffs. We've never done that, surprisingly, in all the years that we have done this series. We've never gone undefeated. The Clippers, who have Russell Westbrook, who just had like a career resurgence. They've also got Vlad Gurovic, Luol Deng, Aaron Gordon, J.J. Hickson. Not a great team. What did that overall say for Russell? He's a 96 at 31 years old. Good for him. But let's quickly move through. There's really no home or no away games in this series because they both play in the same arena. And then we get on to the conference finals against the Sacramento Kings, a 1 versus 3 and a 2 versus 8. The New York Knicks, they beat the Bucks in 7. They swept the Bulls, and now they're playing the Raptors. Crazy. And we have yet to lose a game, but we're going up against the Kings, who have Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, Andre Kirilenko, Kat, and Yao Ming. This is a good team. Wow. This is a really good team. Can we compete with Yao Ming, who's formerly of our team? How many players? Is it just Yao? I think it's just Yao that used to be on our team, at least from the Kings. So let's see what we can do here. Game 1 is a Kings victory. Game 2 is us. 3 is us. No, that's not what I wanted to do. 4 is us. 5 is us. So we couldn't just go undefeated. We had to lose 1 game to the Kings. And now we play the 8th-seeded Knicks. Who's on this team? Jameer Nelson, Romeo Langford, Bob Dandridge, Kevin Love, and Bobby Portis. This 8 seed has made it to the finals. This is a horrible team. They have a 69 overall, nice player starting in their rotation. Starting in their starting 5. Romeo Langford, 69 overall. It's a great number, but it's not starter worthy. We're going to absolutely walk right over this team. Kevin Love has just carried them on his back. This is Minnesota Kevin Love. This is the Timberwolves Kevin Love that was absolutely dominating for like a 5-year stretch. one of the best rebounders in all of basketball. I don't know how they've only lost 4 games in their entire run. This is insane what they've been doing here. But I don't think they can go any further. They've come into a juggernaut that is the Los Angeles Lakers. They took a game from us? This team took a game from us. That's incredible. Are they going to take 2? Okay, I don't think they're going to take 2. We're on our home court. Why can't we never just sweep a team in the finals? Why do we always have to go to 5 games? It's kind of interesting that we can never simulate and win. But we are going to jump in here. It's 118-102. I'm going to actually play this because I don't think this matters too much in the grand scheme of them coming back with 37 seconds left. I don't see them coming back in this game. But I will go with Devin Booker to the rack and not get a bucket. Okay. Unfortunate. Do they still have... So it doesn't look like Romeo Langford's out there on the court. They've got Jameer Nelson out there. There's Bobby Portis. He goes in, and that's a foul out for Joel. Unfortunate for him. Bobby Portis to the line to hit both his free throws. He does. And it's 104-118 with 24 and a half seconds to go. D'Angelo Russell. This is a weird lineup. The CPU puts in the weirdest lineups when they're simulating. I don't know what they're doing. They got Zion at center, I guess, and then I don't even know what's going on. Great move. So they got Russell at point, Magic at shooting guard, Wiggins at small forward, Marion at power forward, and then they've got Zion at center. This is the weirdest lineup ever. I would never have Marion at, well, I would have Marion at power forward if I needed to, but I would never have Magic at shooting guard. That's just, I mean, I know he can play there, I guess. He can play every position. But it's weird that he would have that. And we go on a three-peat. 3 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Garnett probably going to win Finals MVP again. But this is probably going to be the end of this version of the Lakers. I will most likely in this offseason be trading Joel Embiid, Wiggins, Baron Davis, Kristaps. Probably this whole team's going to look different next episode because we're getting too good again. We got to get rid of some of the talent that we have. There's the one Knicks fan that's upset in a sea of Laker jerseys. Embiid's happy. Devin Booker's happy. Garnett's excited because he's adding to that resume. Greatest of all time resume. Maybe we trade Kevin Garnett once he gets enough championships just to add on to the points to kind of try and compete with Giannis, because not only does Giannis have the accolades, he's got the MVPs, he's got the Defensive Player of the Years, he's got the championships, but he also put up 30-plus a few seasons. So maybe we got to get rid of Kevin Garnett so that he can average those kind of numbers and compete with Giannis. But that's a little bit down the road because we still got to get him a championship number that can compete with Giannis. I mean, Giannis has got a ton of them. He's got like 8. So we still gotta get him a few more championships so that he can compete in terms of how many titles did you win, how many rings you got, because we all know in terms of grading who's the greatest of all time, rings do matter. And there's 3 straight rings, 3 straight Finals MVPs for the big ticket. Congratulations to him, and we move on to the off season. Well, we got to take a look at the stats. Joel Embiid in 36 minutes, 24 points, 19 rebounds, 6 assists. Magic at 18, 5, and 6. In what could be his final game. You never know. Wiggins was 16. I kind of want it to be just so that he can retire on top. Kevin Garnett 16, 12, and 9. Almost a trip dub. Zion 14, Booker 11, Russell 11. Very good season, very good game for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Kevin Garnett wins another Finals MVP. Congratulations to him, and we move on to the offseason. Player retirements. Phil Chenier. Is he a Hall of Famer? He had good numbers at the beginning of his career. 21 years in the league. Didn't win a single award. Not a Hall of Famer. Good career. Not a Hall of Famer. Tyrese Halliburton. Is he a Hall of Famer? He was a one-time All-Star. Unfortunately, good career, not a Hall of Famer. Anthony Bennett. He's got some championships. He was on the Laker teams, so he's got at least 3, I would say. Does he have 3? He does have 3 straight NBA titles, but that's literally all he has. Does he have a career worthy of a Hall of Fame? No, he doesn't. Nerlens Noel. Was he on the Lakers? No, he wasn't, but he was on some Oklahoma City Thunder teams, and he was on some Dallas Maverick teams. Probably not a Hall of Famer. We might not get... He won a title in 2052. Who was that? Was that the Mavs? That was the Mavs. So he's on the Mavs team that maybe beat us. There's Giannis. He finally retires. I didn't even notice it first. There is Giannis, and I'm happy that we sent him away because he put up some crazy numbers, and these are the kind of numbers that Kevin Garnett's going to have to go up against because this resume right here, we talked about it in the opening, this is what you have to compete with. For his career, he averaged 19, 10, and 5. This is the career that you have to go up against. This is what every other player in NBA history will be compared to when you're talking who was the greatest player of all time in this series. It's going to be compared to Giannis. 8-time MVPs, 8-time champion, 11-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA first-teamer, 3rd-team All-NBA, Defensive Player of the Years, defensive All-NBA, or defensive All-NBAs. And he Defensive Player of the Years. I mean, just Finals MVPs. He's the greatest player. He's got the stats. He's got the awards. He's got everything. He's got everything. He's the greatest player of all time. He is going to be most likely the only Hall of Famer. There's Bo Cruz, Juan Hernan Gomez. If you're wondering why I call him Bo Cruz, because he was the star of the Adam Sandler movie on Netflix that recently came out, where his name was Bo Cruz. He's a 3-time NBA champion on the Lakers. He's not going to Hall of Famer, but he's a good player for us. Good player. And he is most likely the only Hall of Famer, Giannis is, the only Hall of Famer in this class, and he is. 1,400 games, averaged 19, 10, and 5 for his career. Just phenomenal. And he's going to get his jersey retired in LA, number 11, in Toronto, number 11, and in Golden State. He was only in Golden State for 3 seasons, but they're going to retire his number anyway. This is how you know somebody's good. He was only in Golden State for 3 years, and they retired his number. And that's probably because the Celtics can't retire the number 11. Let me go to the Celtics. They can. Okay, they're not going to retire. Maybe he didn't wear a number. I don't know what he wore in Seattle or in Boston. But he's got 3 numbers, 3 jerseys going up in the Raptors. In the rafters. 1 for the Toronto Raptors, and 1 for us, and 1 for the Warriors. Hall of Famer, greatest of all time, guaranteed. Mark it down. We're going to reject all this stuff to keep everything the same. And then we got the draft lottery, where we're probably only going to go for Jason Kidd. We don't really have good odds to get the number 1 overall pick, and we end up with the 9th pick, and the 12th pick, and the 18th, the 21st, the 25th. Those are our picks. So Jason Kidd could end up going to the Nets, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Let's simulate to the NBA draft where we can make our decisions. We've got to trade some players. We've got to trade our draft picks. We've got to do a lot of stuff here. So trade finder for Joel Embiid. I hardly know her. Andrew Wiggins. Okay, so we got some stuff for Andrew Wiggins here. Let's see what we can get for Wiggs. Nothing that's really like screaming trade for me, although the 3rd pick would help us get the 1st pick. So maybe we send Wiggins to Golden State where he's at in real life. Then we flip John Williamson and the 3rd pick to get the 1st pick to draft Jason Kidd. That could be a possibility. Is that what we do? I might be able to do that. Wiggins to the Warriors. And then we go and trade finder. We go for Kristaps. What can we get for Kristaps Porzingis? Kristaps Porzingis. We can get Jay Williams, which would be an interesting one, and Jaylen Brown. We could bring both. Well, we could bring Jaylen Brown back, and we can get Jay Williams on the squad. Or we could get Julius Randle and Carlos Boozer. We've already had Carlos Boozer. I don't really want him again. Darius Garland at 20 years old, plus Clint Capella. That could be interesting, but we're already going to bring in Jason Kidd, so we don't really need that. I'm intrigued by this Jaylen Brown and Jay Williams trade. And Jaylen Brown is 33 years old. Bring him back to LA. I don't hate that. He's been in Phoenix for a while. He put up good numbers. See what he can do in his old time, his old age. Unfortunately, Magic Johnson didn't retire. I say unfortunately. And we can't trade Baron Davis yet because his contract is up. So we have to wait on that. But we have to flip some people here. So let's go to proposed trade. We're going to go talk to the Nets. But I will throw in Williamson. I'll throw in this Jacobson guy. Oh, I can't because he's expired. Okay, doesn't matter then. Then I'll go with my pick, and I'll pick the third pick, which has a tremendous value, but we'll go talk to the Brooklyn Nets, and we'll see about this first overall pick. Is this good enough just right off the bat? No, it's not. So we're going to have to throw in some more stuff. Luckily, we have a ton of first-round picks that we can give you. Ton of first-round picks. Take all the picks. There we go. So that guy that we got in the Wiggins trade, Williamson guy, he gets flipped for the first overall pick. We also have the 9th pick and the 12th pick. So I'm going to actually go to the trade finder and see if we can... We need some backup bigs now that we traded Porzingis. We have Zion. But I'm going to see what I can get for the 9th pick and the 12th pick. What can I get? I can get Carlos Boozer. I can get a 57 and 59 from the Clippers. That's probably what I'll go for. Although a 57 and 58 from the Kings. Although the Kings just played us in the conference finals, so I don't really want to do that. The Clippers made the playoffs, but the Blazers, a 58 and a 59. I don't hate that. Thank you, Portland, for that. And then we'll go with the 12th pick. We'll see if we can get some more first-round picks out of this. I would hope so. That's a 60 and a 58, but it's protected. 60, a 58 protected, a 57 protected. I don't really want to mess with protected picks. I just don't really like them that much. There's LaMelo Ball at 37 years old, but we have to give up 2 first-round picks for LaMelo Ball and Robin Lopez. That is a highway robbery on their end. They're stealing it from us. All right, so we can't really get anything for the 12th pick. I'll have to make my own trade, I guess, for the 12th pick. Maybe we throw in like Jordan Clarkson or something. I don't know. We don't really need Jordan Clarkson at this point because we have Jaylen Brown now. So let's just let's throw in Jordan Clarkson. Sure, he's got decent value. And we'll go talk to a team that's notoriously not great. Let's see, like the Jazz haven't been great for a few years. So we'll get a 2058 and a 2059 and a 2060, and we'll call it a deal. They're not interested in this trade. How dare you not be interested in my trade? I'll give you a second-round pick. You're still not interested in the trade. Do I have any of my own picks? I do have a 2060 first. There you go. So we got first-round picks from the Utah Jazz. We trade Jordan Clarkson and the other pick. And now we have the first overall pick to get Jason Kidd to be a point guard for us, possibly in the future. Jason Kidd, welcome to Los Angeles. And let's simulate to the end of the draft. See where everybody goes. Jason Kidd ends up being an 82 overall. Grant Hill went to the Jazz. So they got Jordan Clarkson and they got Grant Hill out of the deal. And another pick that we'll see who they got. Glenn Robinson to the Nets at 3. He's an 80. Eddie Jones. Sharon Wright. Who did the Jazz get at 12? They got Juwan Howard. So look at that. The Jazz will be fine. The Jazz will be fine. They made out with this deal that we gave him. Jason Kidd, we're going to accept the contract. Team player options. We will accept these contracts so that we can trade Baron Davis. We don't have any qualifying offers. And now we make it to the moratorium period. Do we have any bird offers? Or bird rights, I should say. We don't. This is the first time in a while we don't have any bird rights. We probably will next episode, though. Okay, so we have Baron Davis, who we have to move on from because we have so many point guards. We have a lot of point guards, actually. I might have to trade Jay Williams now. He might have to be a part of that deal with Baron Davis because we have a lot of point guards that are just not going to play. They're just taking up space. So we can get Jokic for Baron Davis. That's pretty crazy. He's an 89 overall, but I prefer to have Jokic on another team so he can try and be as best as he can possibly be. But we'll throw in Baron Davis in a trade. He's got a ton of value. And we'll throw Jay Williams in a trade. We're going to be able to get a lot of stuff for this. We are going to be able to get a ton of stuff for these guys. Let's go talk to who's got a lot of first-round picks. Let's go talk to the Mavericks. I want your 2058. I want your 2059 from the Knicks. I want your 2059 from you. And I want your 2050 or 2060. Give me all that. You have yourself a deal. Boom. That's a lot of first-round picks for the future. And I wasn't going for 2057s because we already have a ton of 2057s, but we have now a million 2058s, a ton of 2059s, and a couple 2060s as well. So we got plenty of picks. Picks aren't really a worry. Picks are not really a worry. But this is what the roster is looking like before free agency. We got D'Angelo Russell, Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd. We've got Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown's back, and then Talen Horton-Tucker. We got Sean Marion at small forward. Garnett and Zion, and then Embiid and Okafor. So I'm happy with the big men. We need a small forward. I'm not really super happy with The small forward situation. I mean, I like Shawn Marion. Shawn Marion's cool, but is that who I want starting for the small forward? I guess maybe. I guess I wouldn't hate it if he was the starting small forward for us. It's not like the worst thing in the world. We could try and bring in Patrick Williams. He's 37. Jesus. I didn't realize he was that old now. I guess we can try and offer him, see what happens. Reggie Miller's a free agent, but he's also restricted. And I could probably do with maybe another big man, maybe a couple other big men, maybe another power forward like Theonis or Thanias. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize, but I'll do a 2-year deal for you. Actually, let's back up for a second because I'll do the league minimum 2-year deal. Offer that contract. We'll go to center, and we'll try and bring in another big man. Who could it be? Costa Koufis? I do like me some Costa Koufis. That is for sure. So I will offer Costa a 2-year deal. He can get some championships, hopefully. Hopefully all 3 of these guys accept, and they do. So that is now the new look Lakers. We have Embiid at center. We have Garnett at power forward. We have Patrick Williams, who's probably not going to start. I'll probably start Shawn Marion because hopefully progression takes him over Patrick Williams. Then Devin Booker and D'Angelo Russell. It certainly looks a lot different. Let's go to player progression, see what everybody does. Hopefully Russell goes up, Marion goes up. Let's see. Garnett stays a 99. Embiid's down to a 93. Interesting. He might have to get traded next season. We might still be too good. Booker's a 92. Russell's an 89. Magic's an 83. Marion does jump over Patrick Williams, so he will be the starting small forward. Zion's an 83. See, I'm comfortable trading Embiid because we have Garnett, who we could push over to center, and then have Williamson go to a power forward. Jaylen Brown's an 83. Kidd's an 82. All right, it's an interesting team. Very, very interesting. Still pretty good, though. Is it as good as what we had this past season or in the past? Probably not. Probably not on that level. But that's not what we were going for. We were looking to quote-unquote downgrade the team. And this is what we're looking like. Russell at point, Booker, Shawn Marion, Garnett, and Embiid with Williamson, Brown, Magic, and Kidd. And then they have these guys coming off the bench. Okay, I don't hate that at all. We'll make it Patrick Williams getting a little bit of minutes. I probably should take a little bit of more minutes off of Magic Johnson just because he's Magic and he's probably not going to be around much longer. But we'll give him a fair shake. All right, we'll see how this team does. We will see how this team does, but that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you want any other content, I've got 2 other channels that you can go and check out. I've got the World of Juice channel, which is my main channel. That's got Madden content. It's a variety channel. It's mainly Madden, but it's got a little something for everybody. Then I've got my other channel, my 3rd channel, which is the Juice Baseball channel. That's got all MLB The Show stuff all the time. So if you like anything like that, go check it out. Or if you want to just continue to stick around here on the 2K channel, feel free. Got plenty of content on this channel as well. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.